How, how about Kuhu? I don't know. It's true? Kuhu?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Sure. Good evening, Hamze. How to call your
Good
name?
evening.
Hamze.
Gamze.
Hamze. All right. Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks for choosing me. What does term family mean to you?
Yeah.
Family means that we have no border to share everything. I mean to be inclusive with our warm family, but in fact nowadays, which happens to a society is uh, it has no inclusive space for children to have a space with the family. Let's say, for instance, that my nephew has a lot of anxiety, has a lot of things to talk, but the parents are busy with their job or with their mobile phone. But I give space to my nephew what to do to grow up when you to grow up later on. Whatever you want to share, just share to me. Because in uh in teenager you have a lot of things, you have a lot of curiosity to ask. But if you go to if the curiosity doesn't have space, they will ask the wrong place. It can be the wrong person or the wrong place because they are curious, but it has no space to the parents. That's happening in my family, I guess, because my sister's son that I hear. Give a space to them, not only giving the place, but also give a space to how to say to uphold the awareness to them. That's what I mean, family. Thank you.
Thank, thank you for your ideas. And okay, we can go other question. First, I search definition of family and I find family is defined in the dictionary as a group consisting of one or more parents and their children living together as a unit. However, the idea of family is more intricate and involves more emotional bonds that this description suggests. And uh, yeah, this is our second question. What do you think are the most important characteristics needed to become a family? I think this is a good question because I prepare. Okay, guys, who wants to answer? Ah, Kuhu. Okay. Sorry, am I right? Kuhu
Yeah,
or
sure.
Kuhu?
Uh,
Okay.
because it's my turn to practice English, so let me practice. I don't know whether my
Okay.
opinion is right or wrong. Related to this one, we go to characteristics of family. At least give a space. I want to give an additional perspective what I have said previously. First is give a space to the children. Why? Right now, which affects to mental health or mental disorder or anxiety because they can access everything, but the parents, the family do not know how to give rules, how to know what the characteristics the children need or require. That's why
Mhm.
at least the parents have a control to the children or to the kids. If they do not know how to control the kids because uh, everything is changing, going to digitalization, I have no idea if affects the mental health and it become the serious case in this era. And the second one is I will give a comment to before being a parent or being before being a family. Why? Because in my area, the case of divorce is increasing because they are not ready yet to be a family. to be a parent. In 2021, if I'm not mistaken, it is the first occurring cases of divorce because of young marriage. They are not ready yet to marry, but they just fulfill uh, the biological aspect, and it is normalized. At least before being a family, they have they have, how say, they must be ready with parenting, finance, maturity, and all the stuff. Not only from the one side, but at least some side must be fulfilled. That's what we needed to be a family. Not only, let's say, the parents, the father works, fulfill their food, to continue the life, to fulfill their study, but they don't give attention. They don't give a space. If the kid wants to uh, say something, wants to report their daily activity, they want to report their school activity because it has no space. I come back to what I say. That's why I guess the characteristic is must be open-minded, inclusive, give space. Yeah, I think that's crucial currently. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kuhu. And Rizky, you can talk.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Very interesting. From the opinion from Mr. Koo. I can call it Mr. Koo, or I can say that. I think I have a relevance argument that if there is one characteristic that's important as a family, regardless of your role, like you are a child or you are a parent or even like you are a sister or brother, etc., is that empathy. I think the empathy is very important to look the someone's shoes. Somehow, when you are being a children, we blame our parents, we blame our sister, and we blame our brother, but somehow we are not see their shoes, we are not see in their perspective and why they say the way how they is. Several kind of child like blaming the parent because prevent him or her to do something that she love, but actually parents have their own thinking, their own belief that they want the best for their children, so that's why they prevent us to do the something of that. But somehow we block that kind of thinking. We are not respecting their decision. We are not empathy into their decision. So that's why negative impact could be happen. Like we got an anger in ourselves. We blame them, etc. And it's the same as the parent as well. Somehow parents try to decide how the children life going on, like make a decision like you must be like this one, or you must be this way, you must be go this way, you should not go that way. But somehow the parents not empathy looking for the children, what's the need of these children, what is the dream of the children. So when we have like the characteristic of empathy, it could be enhanced to be the communication. We can starting the communication as the need of our children, our parent, our sister. And I think it's very important in the relationship, even especially in the family, because like communication could be something that break the relationship, but somehow it also can strengthening the relationship as well. So I think that's the main point of the characteristic that really need for the to become a family. Thank you so much for a chance.
Thank you, Rizky. And El, right? Sorry.
Yes.
El. Okay.
In my opinion, a strong family needs several key qualities. Example like number one, it should be love because love is essential as family members really care about each other. So yeah, love is important. And another thing that we need to consider is trust because trust is also crucial as you should always be able to count on your family. So that's like, yeah, trust each other is also important as a member of family. And respect is also important because everyone in the family should be valued and recognized. So respect is also another thing that we need to consider. Communication, another one that we need to consider, like talking, it's not only about talking, but sometimes, especially for each person, they just want to talk, but they don't want to be a good listener. So talking and listening, they're also important, especially to each other in your family, because it will help you resolve conflict and strengthens bonds. Yes, and there are still a lot of things that you need to, yeah, have as a family members, like support, commitment, flexibility, and the last thing is also, yes, having fun. Having fun together strengthen us and create happy memories. That's the most important part of being family, because uh, the more, even like you have a lot of friends, but somebody or people who always be your number one big fan is your family. So yes, family is really crucial for us. Thank you.
Thank you. I saw Henny. Henny, hello.
Okay.
Henny.
Hello. Can you
Hello.
hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. Thank you very much for giving me time to express my opinion about family. Yeah. But I would like to give my definition first, and then I'll try to explain the most important characteristic to build a good family. Family for me means that it's a good relationship between husband and wife, where they try to make a commitment one and each other to build a good family. And if you want to decide to get married with someone, it means that you share everything to him or her, yeah, related to your feelings. Yeah, there's no secret. Yeah, there is no secret or boundaries between you and your husband. Yeah, you have to share everything. Yeah, there's not something that you hide. Yeah, related to your secret or something. It means that you have to good communication, to build a good communication with your husband, with your future husband, or with your future wife later on. But at least that the first thing, there are some characteristics that you have to do before you decide to get married. The first one is, of course, commitment. Yeah. The commitment is a very important thing in to build a family, because without commitment, it means that if we find many obstacle or problem in our married life, it's not easy to for you to survive. Yeah, yeah. If there is no commitment, yeah, if there is no commitment, it means that a strong feeling, a love between you and your husband in the future. And the second one, I guess that it's very important thing, means that control your emotion. Yeah, I means that if you have a bad temper, if you are if you have a like a temperamental characteristic, you have to, what is that, you have to try to be patient. Yeah, to run, yeah, to run your marriage life. Yeah, you need to control your emotion. If you are still bad tempered or a bit grumpy, I'm afraid that when you what is that, there will be an argument with your future husband or your future wife. You cannot control your emotion. And in fact, that if you know the bad thing of your future husband characters or your future wife characters, and you feel bad and you try to get divorced, yeah, because you cannot control your emotion. Yeah. And the third one, of course, you need to be responsible. Yeah. When you decide to get married, you have to be responsible. Yeah. Once you promise, yeah, to your wife or to your husband, it means that you promise to God about everything in your life. Yeah, when you try to get promise, it means that you have to share everything with your wife and your future husband. But sometimes promises is promises. They forget about everything. Yeah, even they run their marriage life, but sometimes they like to see the other woman or the other man outside there. Yeah, and they forget about their promise. Yeah, because promise, when you decide to get married, promise is not only for you yourself, but you promise to your God and promise to their family, because you have taken your future wife. Yeah, means that you have to be responsible about everything. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hini. I want to say thank you for all good answer, and let's another questions. What are the responsibilities within the family? So, Sakina, what do you think about this question?
Hello, Miss.
Hello.
Let me try to share my opinion. About this question, the responsibility between or among a family's member, I think it's according to the role in the family. For example, yeah, our parents have their own responsibility for fulfilling their children's need, or even just our daily needs. So not only give more love affection each other, but they have a pivotal role in a core family member. And for children, um we also have our duty in a family, like us. We need to help our parents, uh not only for doing several working house, but also in a certain condition. For example, we need to fulfill their needs also, our parents, because the only person or the closest uh, family's member to their parents are their children. So we need to give more time, our affection, so we can love each other. Yeah, and I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakina. And hello, Thomas. Thomas, okay. Hello.
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 Yeah, I just wait. Just want to say first, thank you to my girlfriend Sophie for inviting me, and thank you for having me. And what are the responsibilities within the family? I have to say here, I agree a lot with my previous speaker, and it depends on the roles and the situation of the family. I would say especially with a young family, like I don't know, let's say you're a young couple, you just had your first child, but you're still not in a stable situation at work, meaning your roles and responsibilities are changing all the time. So it depends on like who makes more money, who makes enough money, how are the working schedules and the times. And here I think we can come back to the previous question, what's really important, and I would say communication and just finding a middle ground. Meaning if you can say like, hey, responsibilities, let's say cooking. If I know that I'm always earlier home than my partner, okay, then I can just do the cooking real quick in preparation, just something nice. Whereas, hey, if it's maybe the other way around, then doing the chores like cleaning, my partner can do and stuff like that. And so it's a early on in a relationship or in a family, very fluctuant, very changing, and then at one point you just get comfortable with the responsibilities you've taken up upon yourself, and then it stays the same later in life.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Risky?
Yeah, thank you. Maybe I just like a bit additional argument that I believe the responsible within the family is based on the agreements. So regardless of the gender or even like regardless of the who you are, like you are husband, wife, and etc. But it's all could be have an agreement between both of you in the family because like somehow like what have we mentioned in the speaker before, you wanna maybe like today's will be wife will be cooking, or maybe like the next day husband gonna do the job, etc. Like it's all about agreement and communication. So somehow like there is a cultural traditional cultural that might happen in several places. Like for example, in my place in Aceh, like there is several kind of cultural in the village that there is like the responsibility that only should be done by husband. For example, like the husband should be visited the mother's house every 1 week, for example, like or just like the cooking and anything in the kitchen is wife responsibility, etc. Several kind of cultural maybe like divine that kind of responsibility, but for me like in order to for me like the priority could be in the agreement and communication because it will be helpful for the responsible for any kind of role in family, even for the children as well, because I think responsible is not only for mom and father, but it's also about the children's because it should be started from that whenever they can do the responsible from the are a child, they will be an adult and being mature enough in the future with a bigger responsibility. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rizky. How about Saifullah Putra? Saifullah, hello.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I would like to express my idea about this topic. I would say that the responsibilities within the family should be the guidance. So the parents have to give their guidance to their children to go through to adulthood, because somehow the parent have the experience better than the children, and the experience from their experience have to pass down to their children, so their children can make the best decision, or make can make the best decision to choose in their life, so they don't get any mistakes what the parents did in the past time. So for on the other hand, I think it would be the compassion, how the all of the members of the family can love each other, and they should guard maybe the privacy issues that the members have, and they don't want to share the private issue, private story to the others. And maybe that's all for my idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Saifullah. Okay. Next question is, do you have a big family or a small family? What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of both? So how about Eka Sukma? Eka, hi. Can you hear me? Eka? Okay. Um, what about Hanım? Hi. Anyone else want to answer this question? Diana, okay. Hi, Diana.
Hi, teacher. Can I say you as a teacher? Probably, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and sorry.
no problem.
Okay. Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for having me in this nice Zoom meeting because I think this is my first time join your class or your meeting. And allow me to introduce myself. I'm Diana from Indonesia. Thank you. And regarding the question, I think it depends. And me personally, I have my own family, me and my husband, and I have two children. The first one is daughter, and the second one is son. So we are four. And before that, before I got married, I think I have a parents that I have five siblings, including me, of course, six. So if I compare my life when I was young and now, I think, yeah, in one side, having a big family, which is a lot of members, I mean, family members like I was in the past with my siblings, I think that was also kind of a good thing for us because, now I realize that having big family, it's like we can, share each other, and if we have kind of problems, we can how to say, we can share or get help from them, something like that. And even when we have kind of a party or event, and then we can invite each other, so it's like a nice, having a big family. But because I was born in a, let's say, in a not a kind of a rich family, so at that time I remember that was kind of tough situation because I have, five siblings. So my parents should work hardly to fulfill our needs, or even to brought us to school, because the cost was so high, something like that. So, uh, referring to this condition, I realized that having small family, which is just two or three children, was enough for me, because nowadays, especially nowadays, education cost was so high, so I think that was the advantage the advantage for having small family, uh, because I think I don't need to fulfill too many people in my house, especially about my children, and I can, give the best thing for my children because they are just two, especially about the education. So I think that was some of that were, how to say, that was kind of advantages or disadvantages having big family or small family. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. You can call me with my name, Gamze. I'm not a teacher actually, but thank you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Thank you, sister.
Thank you. Saifullah, you can go.
Okay, thank you, Miss Gamze. Actually, I I have a small family. I don't have my own family. I'm a still child, and I'm a single child from my parents, and I have lots of merits having a small family. For example, my parents don't give any imbalanced affection or compassion to me because I don't have any older sister or brother, even or maybe the younger. And for the financial stability, I think small family, it's more stable, and it can, the maybe the exceeding of the financial can invest to the other instruments like the land, or maybe the house, and maybe the better education for the children, or maybe the investment for the older all the time for the parents. And I think the drawbacks for having a small family, it's from my experience, I don't have like any experience from my older brother and maybe younger brother or sister or younger siblings, because I should find my character, I should find my way to pursue my dream. So I should be independent in in many circumstances. So that's sometimes it's really hard, but I can go through actually. And maybe for the maturity, because I see that the person who have siblings, uh, is than the other who don't have any siblings like me, because sometimes the maturity can develop with having siblings, even if having siblings young. Family, like single child like me, I don't have any experience to nurture, or maybe to uh like to all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Saifullah. And Rizky,
Yeah, thank
it's
you. I'm sorry that I'm off my camera. I have a big family and small family, but not as the husband or not as the father. I'm as the Saifullah as well as the child. If I'm talking about the advantage, of course, for the big family, the advantage is that I could have a lot of cousin and also a lot of friend whenever I need something that maybe like I will not being comfortable to discuss about something personal in one or two cousin, but because I have a big family, maybe I can ask it in the third person, or the fourth person is part of my cousin as well. And also when it's come to be like Eid Adha, as a Muslim, like many of my uncle, auntie, and many of my family give me money. I love it so much. I think it's advantage. But talking about disadvantage, of course, when I have a big family, there's a lot of there's a diverse perspective regarding my life, and I really don't dislike someone try to dictate my life. And if it is my mom, I will listen it carefully. But if it is too many people try to dictate my life, it's not being a free for me. Like I have my life and I own it. I'm running it. So this advantage of big family, like there is so many judgment in many side, and I think that's the disadvantage. But in the small family, somehow like the advantage is whenever like mom or dad try to give the advice, I think it's very important to listen and respect that, because like whatever our thought that mom and dad is someone that already raised us from we was a child. And I think the disadvantage from the small family is that whenever we cannot stocking it into our mama and dad, or even like our little brother, somehow we have less option to discuss it. Maybe somewhere is not in our family. I think it's very different to discuss with family and a friend, because if family somehow like somehow they tend to be worried more about us, and when they worried they tend to prevent us to do something. But it is a friend, and they say like, yeah, there's a lot and etc., and they will give like more relaxed opinion to us. Okay, maybe that's it. Thank you so much for the chance.
thank you. And what do you think about this question, Nicodemus Ayok? Hi, Nicodemus. Can you hear me?
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What do you
Okay,
think?
thank you. Thank you
What do
so
you think
much.
about?
I'm what?
Okay, please go.
Okay, you know that I live in Papua, so my connection is so bad, and
Okay,
sometimes my
okay.
voice is not good for everybody, and I'm sorry.
You are thinking about this question.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Uh, I have a big family. I have three brothers and one sister, and then but I already married and I have two children, and now we live together in a mountain of Arpak Mountain in West Papua. And you know that we live in Papua is everything's very expensive, so I have to if I take care of many people in my family, that's very hard for me. But I think that small family is very good, and then we can solve them. We can fulfill everything in the family about that. And then I think people in my area is very poor because someone have a big family and he cannot fulfill everything because you know that in our area is everything very expensive and you know that if I have a big family is that's very difficult for uh, us in our area. Okay, I think that's all for me, and then I'm sorry for my connection is bad and everybody cannot
No,
hear my
no,
voice
we
clearly.
understand you. No, no, thank you, Nicodemus. Your answer is so good. And how about listener? What's your real name? Hello, listener. Okay. Uh, anyone else want to answer this question? How about Jamal? Okay.
Hello,
Hello.
what should I call you?
Gamze.
Kamse. Hi, Miss Kamse. My name is Jamal.
Hi, Miss Jamal.
Hey,
Hello.
so, uh am I audible?
Sorry?
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I think when we compared the advantage and disadvantage of having a big or small family, I think it's clear that income level in Indonesia needs to be taking into the account because here in Indonesia, we are coming from very diverse economic layers. I'm not really sure about other countries, but I think that we need to discuss that further. Well, I'm actually also from a really huge family, even though I don't really know them much because we live separately, Miss Gamze. So it's kind of difficult. But I know that from my father's side, we have so many families. Like my father has 12 siblings and my mother has 3 siblings. So we have so many cousins and they're marrying each other as well because in Islam, you can marry your cousins. So it's huge by number. But if we talk about in general, I think there are a few advantages and disadvantages of having big or small families, but I'm gonna take the economical layer of society into this particular discussion. For families in the lower income bracket, I think a big family can feel a little bit blessing, but also a burden. On one hand, I think like the good thing is you can feel the sense of like togetherness and a really built-in supporting system. Like the merrier, the better. A lot of people will think that, oh, because we have family, you're gonna have more supporting system. But on the other side, you need to feed them because the more head you have, the more mouth, then you also need more resources. You need to educate them, meaning that you need to pay some their tuition fees for their schools. So the big family you will have, the disadvantages is it means that you need to have better financial saving, you need to have better financial system, right, in your pocket. So with that, if you from limited, lower income family, then I think smaller family would be very advantage, would be beneficial for you because yeah, the least family member you have, the least as well, the least resources you need to, to survive, basically. But in contrast, having a small family, in high income families, I think, I'm not saying that if you come from the high income families, meaning that you can have more children or you can have so many families, but eventually, when you can say better, income or better financial stability, having more families will not really disadvantage to you or it will not really like giving you a drawback. So a big family, you don't really need to have the same financial stress like how the lower income family think of, right? Your parents can probably afford to give all their kids a good education, healthcare, eventually, because Indonesia, even though we have healthcare insurance like BPJS, this is a very specific product, but it's not for everybody. You still need to pay some extra money to give that. So based on this economical layer, I think you really need to take care of how many children, how many family you need to have. Because Indonesia, the narrative of having more kids, meaning having more uh money. I'm not saying money, but they said it's the more kids, the more rezeki, but I'm not really sure what rezeki means in English. But probably you can get more resources by meaning of having more children. But eventually it doesn't turn out that way. The more children you think, because you're coming from a low income family, you tend to have not good education, then you will think that if you have children, they're gonna save you at the end of the day. But some of them are just coming, it's just like the chain of producing more burden and sandwich generation. And eventually, the poor people will give birth to poor children and so on and so forth. So I think those are my answer, Miss Gamzi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Jimo. Thank you for all answers. And next question is, what changes have occurred in the concept of family and responsibilities from past to present? How can it change? Any volunteer? Mm. Mm. Thomas, okay.
Okay, so probably one of the biggest changes that have occurred is the size of family. I mean, I'm just going to talk here like from my own family experience when I look at how many kids my great grandma had, my grandma, and now my mom also, like the numbers are just getting lower, and you can see that all over, like, I mean, for me, all over Germany. And so I guess that's the biggest change. Same goes for the responsibilities. I mean that's just a cultural change. I also come from a very rural area, and there the kids would have to help with everything from very early on, because well there was a lot of field work to do or whatever, a lot of chores around the house, and like all the kids had to always help with everything. And for me, I've noticed that changing to the parents doing more of the work and letting the kids have more freedom instead of working from a very young age. So I guess these are the two biggest changes that at least I would say have occurred over the past to present.
Thank you. Sophie?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Gamze, for the opportunity. I would just add some points from Mr. Thomas. I think what really obvious, regarding the difference between past and present, or we could say like traditional and modern family, is like I see that traditional family define a family by blood related. In Indonesia specifically, there's a specific ethnic that you're not allowed to marry a person who has the same surname with you. For example, like let's say just like William, or that's not very Indonesian name, or Silalahi, for example. And there are hundreds of Silalahi in Indonesia, but once you find out there's a person have the same surname with you, you're not allowed, or we can say you're forbidden to marry them because you are family related. That's how I see from the traditional family. From the modern family, it would like more close emotionally, because I noticed that some family really put their pets as their family member. Maybe not in Indonesia, but in European, they actually put their dogs and pay the tax for their dogs as their family member. So it's pretty hard to differentiate it, which one exactly is the family regarding our single definition. But to me personally, there is nothing like wrong or right between these two, because both are just built by social constructions. Depends on which era we're living in right now. So you can always live or build a family however you want, or define a family, like depends on how you see life. I think that's from me. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Sophie. Your answer is so amazing, I think. And Saifullah Putra, you can talk.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Gums. Maybe I want to conclude the previous idea, or maybe answer with this topic. I think the biggest change that have altered in the concept of family compared to maybe the old generation to present generation is the freedom. Back then, I have heard about the story of my grandma parenting that she had before. Like, she didn't get any chance to maybe to argue the parents' decision. So I think if she argued his or her decision or parents' decision, it would be she would be get a punishment or maybe a mad from their parents. So I think all of the decision of her, it would, yeah, it has, yeah, it would be a decision from their parents. So I think there is no freedom for her to make her decision, maybe to create her better life, or maybe to find some lovers, or maybe to explore about the new field, or maybe the new area she wanted to explore. And it's different, it's totally different with the present generation or recent generation, that I think the children have more freedom compared to past generation, and the children have their rights to choose what's the best for them. Maybe it's talking about the career, or maybe the education, or maybe the relationship. And I think it's a good I think it's a good decision, or maybe it's good improvement from parenting, because we don't because the children have their rights to choose what's the best for them, and they like they have the rights to maybe to argue or to deny parents suggestion for them, because the children have their life. So I think the others have no right to maybe to break up their life, or maybe to obstruct their life. And yeah, maybe that's the biggest change that have altered in the concept of the family nowadays. Maybe that's all.
Thank you, Mr. And Haras. Hi, Haras.
Hi.
What do you think about this question?
What changes have occurred in the concept of family and responsibilities from past to present? So I'm currently 7th grade. What I've felt is 7th grade is like I have so many responsibilities before I get to 7th grade. Like when I was like 4th, 5th, 6th grade, I was like I could still have time to play with my friends, but now sometimes I can play, sometimes I couldn't, because there's so many work to do, like schoolwork. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chikoneng. Hi, Chikoneng.
Yeah, hi, Miss.
Do you have any idea about this question?
Yeah, I have the
Okay.
thought. What changes is the interpretation about the role between the husband and wife in Islamic interpretation. Perhaps in traditional family, for male or a husband tend to be the leader in family and fulfill the necessity, like getting a job and fulfilling the needs of children and wife. But in current modern era, I thought they are equal. There are several people that in situation the wife fulfill the necessity for their family, or we can say that career women in this occasion. And in this situation, I thought the interpretation how the male should be a leader, it's changed from the traditional. And second is about the happiness. In current situation when several countries step by inflation and also difficulties of job opportunities, the meaning of happiness is not coming from the family. And there is the term of child free. In this situation, I thought that life change, and the interpretation of happiness is not coming from how you should have a children, or you can be happiness only you and your partner. And there are also the happiness when you are single. Now, in this situation, it's totally changed, because the cost how the cost for being the cost to be in family is really difficult for the people who don't have a stable job and also the good salary in their jobs. And in this situation, I thought the first is about the role or the interpretation of the duty of husband and wife, and also the meaning of happiness in family. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you. Okay, next question. First, I made a list for traditional family and modern family. Traditional family, the mother takes on all housework and childcare. The father earns money and support the family. It's a family structure where the male is dominant. It's similar in Turkey also. We have Turkey is more have traditional family actually. Modern family, both mother and father share the housework and childcare. Both parents can work and bring money home. It's a family structure in which neither man nor woman is dominant. Okay, and what do these two photographs mean? What are the differences between them? Who wants to answer this question? Rizky Nofriama?
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to express my argument. I think these two pictures is harmony. The one is a harmony and the other is a broken house. Like I think the blame one. Right? So I think like the difference is that the harmony is that when the family could be respected each other, love each other, and showing and express their gratitude with a very well manner. Meanwhile, in the other picture is not. I think I'm not saying this is a broken, but I'm saying that somehow they're trying to blame each other because of maybe like the communication, because of miscommunication on something, or try to not reflect on individual itself. Like somehow like a harmony family is based on you are not speak something without thinking the consequence of what you are talking about, but more to reflect about our mistake first, reflects about what's wrong with us, why he or she done this one, why my husband doing this one, why my wife doing that things, and why and etc. is much more important rather than just blow up the thinking without reflect and considerate the others. So like maybe like in the non-harmony one, maybe like wife trying to blame the husband because of what being done by the children or any kind of thing happen, but somehow it's because of like I said before, like because of not doing the empathy into each other. So somehow it will be very beneficial for the family. I think like two kind of important things that differentiate between two pictures, that the first is in communication and second is in the respect and empathy. I think that's my argument. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Miss Sophie, you can
Yeah, I
answer.
will very quick. I'm sorry, I'm raising my hands again. But I kind of like the previous speaker really got my attention. I just a little bit disagree because when we see these two pictures, these two activities could actually happen in any family. I mean, there's no single family who's happy every single day. Sometimes we have a warm breakfast together with a happy conversation. Sometimes we also arguing each other. And some parents maybe accidentally arguing in front of their children. So I couldn't really say that, oh, the left one is happy and the right one is a broken family. Maybe the child did something wrong and make the parents really mad. But I get it. These two definition could actually a good examples of a family. I mean, we can see there is a family built by a loving, warm love, and there's some of them also very unfortunate, have to experience the domestic violence in front of them as a kids when their parents fighting, for example. Yeah. But I just disagree with if we completely cut the line and then see this is A and this is black, this is white. I think that's what I would like to say. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss Sophie. Mr. Haras, you can go.
Okay. I do agree with Miss Sophie. Every time, sometimes there's something wrong in one family. Like, for example, this is actually a real story. I got bullied by a kid, and then I fight him over and I punched him, and then my dad's a little mad, so kind of created what happens on the picture with the depressed kid, I guess. But yeah, that I know that must happen because sometimes in families, if the husband and the wife doesn't communicate properly, they would grow something that's called ego. So the wife wants something that she wants, and the husband wants something that he wants else. So it's like a never-ending war. But in the family of eating, the eating family, I guess, maybe they understand each other, their quirks, I guess. So they understand their ego and how they act. So the other ones could tolerate it. So yeah, that's all from me.
Thank you. Miss Jamal.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, I'm the child that got punched by Mr. Harris. So I was the one who was bullied by him. I'm just kidding. All right. So I think I want to give you a glimpse of Indonesian family, Miss Gamze. So the first picture, what you see here, is basically what we call as keluarga cemara in Indonesia, meaning harmonious family. Well, the second picture or second photograph meaning as the normal family in Indonesia. If you've never getting scolded by your family or family member, then you're not part of the family at all. So the second one is more what we are in Indonesia. But if we want to see it through the parenting, psychological, healthy lifestyle, then probably I'm gonna have very just describe these photographs, how contrasting the family dynamics and the environment from your photographs or photos over here. I think the first image shows a family sharing a meal with smiles, very artificial, and with the atmosphere of harmony. I think it suggests a very positive, supportive, and a very cohesive family relationship. The members enjoy spending time together. It looks like a marketizing biscuit products. I think it really symbolizes unity and very good communication with within the family. Well, the second image, I think, really depicts tension, like conflict, yeah, anger and really young family members, usually coming from this, young family. Yeah, like when their parents are very young. The parents appear to be fuming at each other while the child looks very distressed, exactly look like Harazami. This suggests a very strained family environment where conflict might overshadow our this harmony. I think the primary difference lies in the emotional atmosphere that I can tell on. Yeah, I think that's what I can say. But if you want to know, it's called Keluarga Cemara in Indonesia, Miss Gamze. Just to make you know the terminology. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Saifullah Putra.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I have a different view about this picture. Like, I believe that every family has their ups and downs in the family, and the left picture shows the ups family which have the warm condition and sitting together with having a meal, and I think they do a conversation in this table, and they show that this is a happy family. And in the right picture shows that the parents arguing each other, and I think the kid has get like scolded by their parents. I don't know what the reason is, but what I believe in this family, they have the family has their ups and downs, and I don't believe that that Keluarga Cemara or like symphony family really happening in this world. Like, that all of the time the family has their ups condition, and they don't get maybe any sorrow, or maybe any like terrible condition in this family. I don't believe that, because I think that every family has their privacy issues that the others don't need to know about their privacy issue. And the sorrow condition, I think the family don't want the others know about the exact condition about their families. So I think that's all from my answer. Like,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, harmony. Sorry. Harmony.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And next question is, what do you understand by good family and bad family? What are differences between them? Actually, I use these photos because of this question. I want to express this is a good family and is bad family, but your answer is better than my thing actually. Yeah, what do you think about this question? Anyone? Ekalita, say hello.
Yeah, I think good family or bad, it's depend to be related to the function of the family. If they can be well function, like supporting system to the all members, of course it can be indicate as a good family. But bad family is maybe like the environment is not supported to for the members, maybe because of the communication, or maybe there is like harassment or harassment ya, kalau kekerasan itu harassment bukan? Yeah, so yeah, there is something like not very good for the members. So that can be indicate the family is bad, because they have a negative or bad implication to the members. Yes.
Thank you, Miss. Mr. Thomas.
Yeah. My previous speakers already said a lot of good things, which I can just mainly agree on. Also, good and bad family, I would say there is not really. It's actually about the specific members. I mean, a family can be great, but there will always be some bad family members also. And here it's about the support you give each other. I mean, like being in a family is giving and taking. And a good family would be where everyone is giving the same amount as they're taking. And here you would say, well, like with good and bad family, it's more of like how many good people compared to how many bad people you have in that family that actually help each other and support each other through good and bad times.
Thank you, Mr. Anyone else? Okay. Okay, we can go. I made the list again. There are several common features of healthy, happy families that include cohesiveness, open communication, parents leading by example, conflict management, setting clear expectations, limits, respect. Also about sad families, lack of empathy, putting oneself in the other person's shoes, poor communication, insulting or swearing sentences, violence, unrespect, etc. And the next question is, what does it mean to be a parent? What are the advantages and disadvantages of being a parent? So, who wants to answer this question? Mr. Thomas, Diana. Miss Diana.
Yes, thank you, Miss. What does it mean to be a parent? Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm a mother, of course, I also, I'm such as a parent also, right? Yeah, I think to be a parent, or especially me, because I'm a lady or a woman, so as a mother, I think it's not easy to be a mother or even to be a parent, because especially me, I have 2 children, I said before. As a mother, I think not just to say no or yes, something like that, even not just to feed them or to bring them to the good school or something like that, but more than that, I think I have big responsibilities to, how to say, to grow them as well, especially about the personality, because when my children see how I act, or even my, let's say, my habit, that can make them imitate the way I'm speaking, the way I'm acting. So that was one of the biggest challenge in my life, to be a mother. So due to this question, if I could say, be a parent is like a role model in your own family. We can say that as a parent should be shame all the parent all around, in the world, because every parent, they have their own way to teach their children, or to to educate their children. But most of them, in the result, all the parents want their children to be educated, or to be well, or to be good in their life. So again, I think as a parent is a role model in their house, especially for their family. And the advantages and disadvantages of being a parent, I think honestly, as a parent, as a privilege by our, let's say, by our God, for example, because parents is one of the term, like I said before, is a role model in our house, in our home. So I think there is no disadvantages being a parent. More than that, I think advantages of the parent, because as a mother, or even as a parent, is a gift from our God. That's a little bit from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Sakina, do you have any ideas?
For me, yes, I have. According to this kind of question, what I realized that right now I'm still a single, and then as a result of my parents' guidance, as yeah, I think they are my role model, but by the time I also agree with the previous speaker that parents parents are the real role model because we imitate how do they act in our daily life. Even they give us some suggestion. For example, don't play your phone full time, but we are as children look them playing phone much of their time, and yeah, we are imitating their habit, yeah. So we are as children, what I believe that we can be a lifelong learner. That's one of the point that I've learned from my parents, that you are their children, but you have your own choice to be to have your own parenting style in your better life in the future with your spouse. And I think yeah, by learning through our life, it will give us some more advantages, maybe if I'm being parents in the future. That's for.
Thank you, Miss. Okay, next question. Can everyone be a parent or not? Why not? What characteristics do you think an individual must have to be a parent? Miss Sophie?
I found this is a very interesting question. And yeah, it might be controversial, but as we said here, we just share our own personal opinion, right? And there's nothing wrong with personal opinion. Just disclaimer. I don't think that everyone has to be a parent, because some people or some couple don't know how to actually become a parent, and they are having kids and just making any of, I don't know, like some traumatic, some generational trauma for their kids and for their grandkids. So I do believe that if you feel that you are a problematic parents, if you're having a kid, then you better not having a kid. That's actually a very heroic decision you could ever make, because I think it's better to decide not having kids than forcing yourself being a parent, forcing yourself to have a kid just to become a bad parent. I know that some people believe that when you're married, what's supposed to be when you're not having kids? What's the point of marriage if you're not having kids, right? If you're still, for example, a virgin, you able to giving birth, and you decided to become a child free, that's forbidden maybe in some beliefs. But imagine that if you hold this principle and you just traumatizing human beings because you don't know how to become parents, you know what I mean? So I don't think that everybody should or have to, or another word like is a mandatory after marriage you become a parent. I really against the idea, And then the second question is like, what characters do you think an individual must have to be a parent? I think beside financially stable, you should also be emotionally mature. It's never be easy to be a parent. I mean, I also haven't been a parent yet, but I always see like any of couples or person who has a kid, it's always a struggle to be a good parent. And it doesn't mean that it's something that we have to avoid, like we could always decide to become a parent, or we could always try to become a good parent as long as we can. But those 2 points, like emotionally mature and financially stable, is like the fundamental thing that you have to have in order to become a parent. I think that's it, Miss. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. Okay. Anyone else? Um, Miss Diana, do you want to add something?
Yeah, a little bit about this question. Actually, I think this question is a little bit tough to answer. But yes, can everyone be a parent? Normally, yes. Everyone can be a parent, quote and quote. I mean, if you are married and then you have a child, immediately you are as a parent by blood or something like that, But if we talk about parent, quote and quote, like a parent as a ideal, I think not everyone can be a parent. So again, I think I have said before that as a parent was not easy, because you should be a role model for your children. And more than that, I think as a parent have a big responsibility, not just to feed your children, right? To give them clothes or to give them house. No, there's not enough to as a parent. More than that, almost you have to grow them as well to be a good people later on, something like that, especially about the education. I think as a parent have a big responsibility to bring their children to get good education, something like that. That's the point that I can say a little bit. Thank you, sister.
Thank you. Suji, right?
Thank you, Miss. But I think Mr. Saifullah has raised his hand first.
Okay.
Is that
Saifullah.
okay?
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, well, I believe that everyone can be a parent because it's inevitable condition that for those people who don't believe in child-free or maybe who are not interested with marriage. And of course, I think you know, the task to be a parent is one of the difficult job or maybe difficult responsibility in our lives. So I think we should prepare for the worst and for the best, because we don't want to maybe to create our children who behave badly in the society and the community, because I think the parents should be the role model in the family. And before you want to be a parent, I think you have to ensure that you are mature enough and you have stable emotional, stable financial, and I think stable revenue, so you don't like disrupt with the instability condition in the family. And it should be ensured that the condition that have that have applied before you pop the question to your fiance maybe. And of course, I think because our children mimics the parents, what they speak, what they act, what they behave in the house. So I think the parents should give the best influence and the best education to their childrens, and don't show the children's the appearance that the children should not to see it. And I think it's a difficult responsibilities, but if we can go through with this condition, I believe that we can be a good parent for our children. Maybe that's all.
Thank you. Suji?
Yes, I would like to tell my opinion, maybe a little bit different with anyone else here. Like, for me, yes, as Mr. Chemal said, that just because you're biologically able to produce another human being doesn't make you directly get the title parent. Yes, biologically we can, maybe some people can be a parent and some people couldn't be a parent, but ideology plays later. If my pronunciation is not good, please let me know. I think all people can be a parent, but the problem is whether they want to or not. As long as an individual that they have a characteristic that they want to learn how to be a parent, because I don't think anybody already ready. Fully ready to be a parent. I think no one can be ready to be a parent, but as long as they want to learn how to be a parent, I think everyone can be a parent. As Ms. Sakina said before, that being a parent, there's an advantages like we can be a lifelong learner. So yeah, as long as they are ready to learn how to be a parent, because like each choice has its consequence and also has its sacrifice, right? And being a parent, I read it somewhere that being a parent means that you need to sacrifice your freedom, because like each behavior, each step, or any step that you will take, it will be a role model, or it can be impact to your children and even your spouse or something like that. And actually this characteristic not only as an individual but as a couple that have a choice or have a plan to be a parent or have a children. So as long as they want to learn how to be a parent, I think everyone can be a parent. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Suji. Okay. If you become a parent in the future, what kind of a parent do you imagine you will be? Who wants to answer this question? Any volunteer? Okay. How about Putri? Hi, Putri. Sorry. First, Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, what kind of parent would I be? I mean, we can always say like we're gonna be the absolute perfect parent, because well, of course we are striving for that, but in the end, we are just gonna be us. So from my level of maturity now, what I can say is I think I will be a good father to my children, but the question is how patient can I be with them? Because it's completely different when, I don't know, like you're stuck in an annoying situation, let's say, temporarily, but when you have kids, like until they grow up, it takes a few years. So for a lot of years, you have this constant annoyance, and the question is, can you stay a good parent the entire time? And I think I can handle that, but I cannot say for sure how I react in the situation when it finally occurs.
Thank you. Hi, Putri. Can you hear me? Okay. How about Ray? Hello. Okay. Zulfa? Any volunteer? Okay. Sophie, do you want to answer this question?
Yeah, I could try.
Okay.
It's so hard because to be a parent, I also believe some genetics behavior could also brought up from our parents and from our grandparents that adopted by us automatically, or maybe we could say genetically. I don't know if that's true or wrong. Maybe I should search more, but that's something that I always care about because I noticed there's some kind of like a huge misparenting that the way my parents raised me. Of course, my parents always try to be a good parents, but some of their parenting style that they are applied to me, it's really affected my the way I am when I grew up, in a bad way. And I really scared that I put that again in my children in the future, which I'm trying not to. Of course, like previous speaker said, when we decided to become a parent, of course we want to be the best parent possible or a good parent for our children. But when it comes to reality, when we have it, it's not as easy as we talked before. And when it comes to like a personal question, I think I would really need to have a parenting class before I actually pregnant, like decide to be pregnant, because I know like I realize I'm so uneducated to be a parent. So I really want to take that class in order to help myself to become a good mom. And to become a good mom, we need a good husband or a father to support us. So it's like a group work. It's a team project to become parents. You can be the best possible mom ever, but your kids also need some father figures. So nice project. Yeah. So I think that's how I will do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophie. Okay, another question. What is the place of parents in the family? What can be the differences between mother and father? Yeah. Who wants to answer this question? Miss Ekalita. Hi.
Actually, it's I think I agree with the Debo's opinion that said that all just because you are biological able to produce another human being doesn't make you deserve the title of parent. I think it's true, and the differences between mother and father, maybe for they have the different function that actually the children need both mostly when they are kids, but I do agree with Miss Sophie's as well, that said that become a parent is very challenging, and um about the differences between mother and father, of course, mother, they have maternal instinct to take care of their children, but sometimes their maternal instinct is not supported their children, mostly if they are like overprotected or like spoiled. Maybe they didn't mean to be spoiled their children, or maybe a contrary, they are like very hard to their children. Um, yeah, so mother um drives I mean drives to parenting style with their maternal instinct, but father with their logical perspective. So father is like more actually father is more uh supportive to their children, and most children is more comfort with their father, because maybe um the father is not what you call, if like your mother is like always worry about you, although there is nothing to be worried, but all of the mothers is uh always feel that there is something that not safe, or something that to be um worry about, and etc etc. But fathers is not like that, because fathers is maybe like more tolerate with their children, and I don't know how father doing their jobs, but yeah, most children feels that their father is like more understand with their children. Yeah, so I cannot describe with the right sentence, but um yeah, there is a differences between mother and father, because mother take care of their children with their maternal instinct, and unfortunately sometimes their maternal instinct is um not supportive to their children. So um but the weakness from the mother is can be complete with the fathers, because yeah, fathers is not too much worry with their kids, and they are more believe with their kids, and it's very different with mother. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss. And Mr. Saifullah.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. For me, personally, I think the parents have same responsibilities in ways that they have to nurture their children. And I think there are some differences between the roles, but for the main objectives is still the same. Okay, maybe first of all, I think I'll start with the mother. I think the mothers have different methods or approach to maybe to educate their children, and they give the education or the approach it's more smooth or delicate way. So they talk with their children what's the mistakes and what they have to maybe to fix, maybe, or to face the mistakes that they did before. And I think it's more tolerance rather than the father's way, or maybe the dad's way. The father always give the strict or firm approach to educate or to nurture their children. And if the children do some mistakes, the father always give the corporal punishment, or some like the punishment that the children should know about their mistakes, and they do not to do it again, maybe in the future. And that's the way that all of those aspects between the mother and the father have eclipsed the other strengths and weaknesses together. And I think that's the, that delineates the beauty of the parents in the family. And the mother should not, should not surpass the father's role, and the fathers should not outweigh the mother's role. I think both of them have different roles in nurturing their children to be a good children, and to and hoping that their children can be better from their generation, or maybe from their lives. Maybe that's all.
Thank you. And yeah, today, sorry, actually, for today, sorry, I'm nervous. Thank you for all answers. I'm too happy to see you in here. If I made mistakes, please forgive me. This is my first time. Okay, that's it. Sophie, do you want to say something?
Okay. Yeah. Since our time is almost up, so yeah, we decided to end discussion, even though I know discussion running very excitingly by Miss Gamze. That's why I really want to say thank you so much for our beautiful and amazing host today. What time is actually in Istanbul right now, Miss Gamze?
5 p.m. Sorry, 17:52.
Oh, okay. At least it's not very late, because in Indonesia, I'm pretty sure it's already almost midnight. Different depends on which city are you living in, because we also have 3 time zones. So I would like to encourage all of you guys to open your camera for photo session. Yeah, and show your beautiful and handsome faces. Okay. Don't worry if you don't want to. It's okay. We really understand. It's not a force. Mr. Sunshine, probably. Mr. Sunshine, are you in the gym? You've been really quiet today. Okay, thank you, Haras. Henny.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Miss Diana, Miss Eka,
Hi,
and others.
sister. Hey, I'm so sorry. I can't open my camera. Probably next time, if you don't mind.
It's okay. It's totally okay. Thank you so much for joining us. So,
My
okay, I'm just
pleasure.
gonna take a picture right now. Okay, in 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. With this, let me take a second picture. 1 second. Okay, now you can have a freestyle. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So family. Thank you so much, guys, for joining our discussion today. Thank you so much, Ms. Gamze, one more time. It's really nice to have you here, and thank you for willing to be our moderator today. I'm very honored. So I'll see you guys again next week. We always have a weekly discussion with different theme and different different hosts. Yeah, from a bunch of the world. Still majority Indonesian, but yeah, we have possibility to having another host from other country, like Miss Gamze, for example. Okay, see you guys. I wish you a very good night, and thank you so much for joining. Bye.
Hello,
Thank you.
Ota.
Bye,
Yesterday,
everybody.
we say tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, sorry,
Bye.
Happy Monday.
Again for moderating our discussion.
Thank you.